But we also have to understand that some people will never get it. So yes, there are people that are economic hitmen today. There are jackals.
John Perkins, the economic hitman who wrote Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I haven't read it in years, but I read both the original and then the updated version that had more information in it. And I actually interviewed him on Redacted Tonight several years ago. You know, I haven't read it in years, so I don't know if there's things that I would want to dig deeper on, saying that's only the surface level. Maybe there's some of that, but that book helped wake me up. Really, it was like a few things. You know, reading Chomsky, reading Chris Hedges, reading Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It just, back when I was in my early 20s, it was just like, it was like, wow, this is how it works. Oh my God. Used to work for our government as an economic hitman. It's exactly as it sounds. For those of you who haven't read the book, he went from country to country, and they tried to put enough debt onto that country that they controlled it, and then they could cut away, slice away all of the things that help the people. It's called austerity. They would do austerity, and it would just destroy people's lives, destroy the society, but it would enrich a tiny number of individuals, many of them in the West, many of them in the United States, and that was awesome. And it also would put a lot of power in the hands of the United States and the other ruling elite. Here he is speaking fairly recently, I think. Refresh this.
Wake up to what's really going on. And we see a lot of people waking up these days. So what's really going on? You know, I think if we just keep hammering away, my job is to do it through writing. I write books and films and speaking out. But everybody can play a role. I mean, teachers can teach kids about this and teach people about this and so on. But we also have to understand that some people will never get it. And don't bother to try. You know, like if Aunt Susie sits around the table during Thanksgiving and is insistent that everything is just right and there is no in the world and everything is just right, and she's totally insistent on that, let her have her insistence. You know, go to Uncle Ed, who is open to thinking in new ways. And I think that this is important. So yes, there are people that are economic hitmen today. There are jackals. There are people in the CIA who've been perhaps brainwashed. They've come out of the Navy SEALs, or they've come out of someplace like that, and they're probably never going to get it. But if we can get to the people who are their bosses, or you know, if we can get to the general population who's going to elect the next leaders of our country, and consciousness changes, then they will change too.
I very much appreciate the sentiment. I don't know that we can just get to the leaders like he says there at the end, but I appreciate the rest of it where he's saying, you know, we all do our part. We all try and convince these people. We all help change people, the ones we can, and some of them you're never going to get to. As Eleanor Goldfield, who couldn't make it today, likes to say, some people are just going to die wrong. They're just never going to figure it out. That final day is going to come, and they're still going to think, we have a two-party system that allows you to have very different people in office. And if we ask them to change, they will change. And, you know, there's some people that they're going to go with that their whole lives. And you move on to the others, move on to the others.